everyone, it's Donna here from Donna's Creative Corner, and I'm just here with a quick video to show you some coffee dyed papers that I've made using a new technique. Actually, this first stack is my old technique. I'm not into the method of cooking, baking my papers and all of that. I don't have the room, I don't have the patience for it, I don't have the time for it. So the way I had been making my coffee stained papers is just simply a spray bottle of the coffee, spraying them, and then hanging them on a, I have a clothes drying rack out in my garage that I just drape the papers over the rungs of the rack, and I leave them out there to dry. And I live in Florida and it's summer and it's hot, so they're usually dried probably in an hour sometimes. But I'll make a batch at night, lay them out there, and they're ready in the morning. But these are the results of that method, and I like it. I mean, I like the variegated effects on it. I like the drips. But that's my normal method. That's actually my go-to method. But I saw a video on YouTube, and I'll put the link down below to the video. It's actually a 3-video series from Medieval Mirage. She had a method of, she came up with a method of putting them in layers in a bin to dry on their own, and in between the layers she was putting plastic doilies like this. Well, these are just the ones I have. I had these for to use for masks, for stencils, for spraying dyes and paint. I also used some of this. This was a wrapping on something, the clear plastic. It makes great impressions. This is another thing I cut from something else to make to use as a stencil. These plastic placemats. So, and there's another one here. And then I also used some of my stencils and masks from my mixed media days. I've got a couple there. Butterfly, this. So my first attempt at doing this, these are the papers that came out of my first attempt. This paper I used this time was Epson Photo Quality Paper Matte Finish, and it worked really well. One side of it, I'm not sure why, one side of it is darker and the other side is lighter. But I really like the results. I love that one. And I have options whether I want darker or lighter. So I really like the effect of the designs that are on these papers. So this is the first attempt, and I figured it was the paper was the reason why it came out differently on both sides. That one has a very subtle change. This one you can see the pattern really well. Like that. So that's my first attempt. I love them. I wanted to show these before I start using them in my journals. My second attempt, same mix of coffee, but very different effect. And in fact, these first two, this paper was stationery paper, that kind of linen, has kind of a linen finish a little bit on it. It was left over from my sending out resume days many years ago. I've had this paper in my stash a long time. The first two, this batch, I put out in the sun to start drying, and I think that's why these these top ones are so dark. The rest of them are kind of dark, but these are like, whoa. You could really see the design in those for sure. And these two are a little bit lighter on the back side. I'll still use these. They'll probably go into like collage pieces, but and then the rest of them are, and I think the edge might have been in the sun. That's why the edges are so very dark on these. But the rest of these are pretty much the same shade on the front and the back. This was a stencil that I had. They all have these really nicely aged. They almost look like they're burnt around the edges. Finish on them. So I don't know which set I like the most, but I just wanted to show you that. Here's the that material that I used. You can see the cross hatching a little bit in there. Oh, there goes one of my cats. That's the stencil that I had, that I used. There's another stencil. So I really like the results. It takes, you can't be impatient with it because it takes about 3 days to dry. And I'm here in Florida where it's hot, although right now it's very hot and humid. So that kind of negates the hot benefit. So those are my attempts at this new method of coffee dyeing. Check out Medieval Mirage. She's in Australia. She has a 3-video series on how to do this, and I'll put the link down below to the first one in her series. So these papers are going into my journals that I'm working on right now. I'm going to be making some more of the naked journals with optional embellishment pack. Oh, excuse me, embellishment packs that you can purchase separately if you want some of those. So that's all I have for today. Bye for now.